It may seem hard to believe, but a lot of people that have been through trauma as kids don't even recognize it as trauma, even though it's been impacting them for their entire lives. Medically, psychologically, relationships, financially, socially, intrapsychically, yes, in every way. So, how do you recognize if you've had a trauma? If it's real, or if it's, oh, just get over it, time will heal all wounds, or no, you actually have to get to it, get to the root cause, the source, and resolve the issue. Well, first of all, you want to answer all 12 of the adverse childhood experiences questions. Yes, if you know the ACE, it started with 10. Thanks to many thousands of people, Dr. Felitti and I added an 11th and 12th question, which are very important. And it's the result of many decades, actually hundreds of thousands of people, lots of feedback, groups, family sessions, individual sessions, and us meeting every week for all these many, many years. Right? Still do. So here's an example. A nurse saw Dr. Felitti at Kaiser. A lot of problems, weight problems, relationship problems, depression, anxiety, was on meds. And she's a nurse, very bright, caring, kind person. And she shared that in her house, her living room is filled from the floor to the ceiling with trash bags, filled with trash. She couldn't throw out her trash. Her house stunk, she couldn't have visitors, and it was a mess. She said she'd been doing this for quite a while. Dr. Felitti suggested that maybe we have a meeting and include me, and we met. And within a very short amount of time, probably less than 5 hours, eyes closed, inner work, compassionate, friendly, caring, autobiographical, from an acceptance perspective, developing her own compassion response. She actually discovered the root cause, the source, as if she was watching somebody else, but she knew it was her. A real out-of-body experience, but really amazing for her to experience this. And it was within herself. We were just there as support people, caring people, asking important questions that would help her discover the best answers within herself. And about a month later, she came into Dr. Felitti's office and said, hey, I know this is my regular medical appointment, and I think I'm doing a little bit better. I'm not as depressed or as anxious. And by the way, I completely cleaned my entire living room, got rid of all those trash bags, and I put in a white carpet. And he said, well, what happened? What do you think that's because of? She couldn't explain it. Just as she couldn't explain the root cause of all of her issues, anxiety, depression, relationship, everything, you name it, she was struggling. But she's a very good nurse to others. And then she really couldn't explain how come she cleaned her room, stopped hoarding, was able to have guests over and put in a white carpet where you couldn't even see the carpet. So the important thing is, at an unconscious level, she was able to heal. At a subconscious level, her basement junkyard where she was holding all the pain, the trauma, she couldn't heal because that's where she held it. That's what they mean by you hold it in your body, you hold it in your emotions, you hold it in your mind. Yeah, that's all your subconscious. When she went deeper to her unconscious, she healed, she resolved, and we follow everybody up 10, 20, 30 years later, she's still doing well. So you certainly want to be able to be pleasantly surprised by your own resources. So where there's pain, there's potential. Where there's problems, there's resources. It takes exact techniques. Took us decades. We're still learning. That's why we still meet every week. So check out some of these resources and stay open.